Is it working? I wonder if it's working. I don't know. I'm Meredith Rhodes Carson, and I'm a health coach, and my company is called From This Day Forward Health Coaching. And I'm on a mission to support people in finding awesome health. I lost a lot of weight, and I didn't have a lot to lose, but I did hit a wall a few years back where it just seemed as if I could no longer eat whatever I wanted, or I was exercising pretty routinely, a couple times, three times a week maybe, at the gym, hitting the elliptical, mostly the elliptical, because I just felt like you had to move, and that was a good way to do it. And I could watch TV at the same time, so I wasn't really bored, I guess. But I chose to step up my workouts after I started to gain a little bit of weight, and really wanted to keep eating the way I was because I thought it was pretty healthy. It wasn't anything I wanted to change. It was going to be most sustainable just to continue eating the way I was. I knew that. So I stepped it up at the gym, and I met with a trainer, and I started to lift some weights because I thought, well, this cardio is not working. I need to get some muscle tone, and I heard that's pretty good, and let's do that. So I did that, and I saw, after a month or two, I was really disappointed not to see any movement on the scale. So I realized at that point that I needed to change the input, and that's when I started Weight Watchers, on the recommendation of many of my friends who were very successful doing Weight Watchers. So I did. And I was in Weight Watchers for about a year, did it online, and I lost 25 pounds. And I lost that weight relatively quickly, probably in the first four or 6 months or so. And I wasn't starting at a huge, it was, I think I was 145 pounds when I started. But it was obvious. I mean, it was motivating. The scale was, the numbers were going down, and I just kept going with it because it was quite motivating to see progress. And, that's when my health issues started cropping up. That's when I started losing hair. And I didn't feel, I felt like I looked healthier, but I didn't feel healthier. And it was troubling because I think, one of my goals was always to lose weight, and I just always thought that with weight loss comes great health. But it turns out that's not true. When you feed your body the right things, you become healthy. But if you are given, like I did with Weight Watchers, I had a certain number of points, like everybody does with Weight Watchers, and not a whole lot of guidance as to how to use those points. I could have a couple pieces of pizza a day and use up those points, and that would be it, but I could have a couple pieces of pizza. Or else I could eat vegetables all day long and still have a gazillion points, So what was what do you do? And turns out, after banging my head against the wall for a while and all of my issues with my doctor, I realized I was malnourished. And that's why my hair was falling out. And that's why my body was kind of shutting down some, I thought, were pretty essential processes. Hell, I could have a extra heartbeat. And that was kind of freaky. But when I started losing my hair, it was like, I guess my vanity button kicks in. And I realized that was scary. I wasn't ready for that. So I was malnourished. Who knew? This might be TMI, but I also I didn't have a period. That can't be good, right? That's, I guess, a non-essential function that your body can shut down to save its resources for things that actually keep you standing up and breathing. But that's not healthy. So after I had figured out that I was malnourished and figured out how to properly nourish myself, which was kind of counter to any ways that I thought were healthy, that's when I started feeling healthy. And I did put on 5 pounds, 5 to 10 pounds, I guess, from my lowest point. But I also gained health and strength. So, and that's my phone. That's really annoying. Okay, let me stop it here. I am somebody who's benefited greatly from real food. I've got a couple of medications I've weaned myself off of. I had some hair that was falling out. I had an extra heartbeat. I had bumps on the arm backs. How much should I get into here? I didn't have a period for a long time. My skin was super dry. I had anxiety. But what really happened for me was that my doctor failed me. And when I went in for a checkup and I said, listen, doc, my hair's falling out and I have an extra heartbeat, she looked at me like I had 3 heads, you know. Okay, well, let's test your blood work. And she did that. And of course, nothing shows up on the blood work. I'm perfectly healthy. And of course, my heart doesn't do its fun thing for her. So she punted me off to a shrink. And I said, okay, well, I guess my doctor knows, so maybe I could benefit from talking with somebody. And I went and saw the shrink, and the shrink said, geez, Meredith, you seem pretty normal to me. I don't know if I can diagnose you with anything. Maybe you'd like to meditate? Like, okay, that sounds cool. And once I figured out that I needed to solve my own health issues because nobody was really going to do it for me, I did a lot of research. I went online. I Googled everything. I'm a scientist, and I understand that everybody's different, and we all need to experiment, and that's where I started experimenting. But then I kind of got led down another path when I saw the video from Dr. Terry Walls, who's an internal medicine doc. This was my epiphany. And she had secondary progressive MS. And she was in a tilt recline wheelchair, and she was failing, basically. This was, I think, in 2007. And as an internal medicine doc, she kind of knew the status of various research questions and drug trials, and she had no time to wait for that. And she used her own critical thinking skills to do some research online using the Google and the PubMed. And she came up with a pretty fine answer for herself, where she decided that, well, MS is a sort of disease of the brain where the myelin sheath in your neurons is sort of disintegrating, and that's an important part of your body that you need. So she did some research on how to support those cells in your brain, your mitochondria, the bits and pieces of your cells that power your body. And she decided to write a book about it called Minding My Mitochondria. And she basically either sent herself into remission, or I guess she doesn't claim to have cured herself, but she is no longer in a tilt recline wheelchair. She's highly functioning. She does lectures all over the place. And this was all a result of her change in diet and lifestyle. And I was like, wow, that's pretty incredible. How come we all don't know that? And I followed her model, and I decided I was going to eat real food, and I was going to pay attention to what I put in my body, and I was going to pay attention to how I move, try and fix stressors in my life. And I would say within 3 months' time, I started to notice a difference. I started to, retain hair. I started to, chill out. Really wasn't so racked with anxiety, and I was able to wean myself off of my prescription medications, which was, I don't know, that's pretty good. I don't want to grow old and have tons of prescriptions. I plan to fight that every step of the way. I really think it's something that's sustainable, and I really think that everybody can find something that really works for them as not a diet, not a fad, but just making habits and better decisions. And those cumulative better decisions really pay dividends. It's so difficult to gain that perspective now when we live day to day. We make choices every day, maybe the same choices every day, but that candy bar you had today, you'll be like, well, I'm not going to have candy tomorrow. But then the next day you're like, well, it's a new day. I might have some more candy. And I'm guilty of that too. It's just human nature to, kind of decouple your mind and body. Something we all have to work on. But perspective in that it is cumulative, and the decisions you make today, what you put in your mouth, how you move, will greatly influence your health, wellness, longevity. And you need to be in a position to respect yourself enough to take action now. And I want to help you get in that position and meet your health and wellness goals. So there. I'm Meredith, and I hope that I can help you in your life and show you how to poach an egg, maybe. We'll see if this video thing kind of takes off. I'm really I'm fearful of this because this means I'm out there, but that's what I got to do because I really want to be. I want to be face to face. I don't want to be here talking to myself. I want to be talking to you. So good luck to you in your meeting your goals. And if you need any help, feel free to contact me. I can see what I can do. I'm pretty confident that you can meet your goals, and I'm there to help. Thanks. Bye. I feel like I need a blooper reel or something.